Hello, ServiceNow Wizards! In today's video, we're going to be walking through the Welcoming Wizards application, which is an app that I built for my breakout session at Knowledge 2024. But before we jump into that, I'd like to take a quick second to introduce myself. My name is Ailey Anderson. I'm a first-time MVP this year. I'm a huge fan of this community. I think it's a great place to go to network, to meet incredible people, to get answers to your questions, and to just have fun. If you're curious about any of my community content, you're welcome to check out my website, aileyAnderson.com. I'll include a link to it in the description. Outside of my community contributions, I'm also a developer for Yansa Labs. Yansa specializes in building custom apps on the ServiceNow platform. Because of this, I've had the unique opportunity to take a deep dive into various parts of the platform. One of those areas that has really piqued my interest lately is UI Builder and configurable workspaces. I thought it would be awesome to put together a fun and creative use case that showcases the power and the potential of configurable workspaces and how they can be used to meet the needs of any and every organization. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Pigworts Academy of Wizards. Pigworts is a school that young wizards can come to learn how to use magic. Lately, however, Pigworts has been struggling to keep up with their influx of incoming students. One of the professors at the school, Professor McGonigal, decided it was time they revamp their student onboarding process. While doing her research, Professor McGonigal discovered a magical system that could help automate processes that were previously being handled through parchment paper and less than dependable owls. What magical system did she stumble across? Well, that would be ServiceNow. Let's take a look at the brand new Welcoming Wizards application that was created for the students and faculty here at Pigworts. Professor McGonigal is in charge of overseeing the onboarding of all of the incoming wizarding students. As the start of a new school year approaches, she goes to her Welcoming Wizards workspace to get an overview of the current state of the students and their assigned houses. Just for context, students are assigned a house which is sort of like a sub-community within Pigworts. Each house has its own common rooms, dorm rooms, sports teams, etc. that students in that house have access to. They also have a house passphrase that will give them access to their common rooms, dorm rooms, etc. In addition to the house information, Professor McGonigal can see the number of wizarding students without welcome letters, as well as the number of wizarding students who have yet to acknowledge their welcome letters. If we scroll down further, we'll see the number of wizarding students per house, how they're split up into the 4 houses, as well as the wizarding student welcome letter statuses, which is just a general overview of those welcome letter statuses. And then at the very bottom, we've got a list of the wizarding students who are ready to be sorted into houses. A wizarding student is only ready to be sorted into a house once they have acknowledged their acceptance into Pigworts. Let's go ahead and drill down into this chart to see which wizarding students have yet to receive their welcome letters. Looks like there are 3 students who have not yet received their welcome letters. If we go back to the home page, we'll see that that lines up with the number we see here. Let's go ahead and send those welcome letters now. When we click the Send Welcome Letters button, you'll notice that this number of students without welcome letters goes down to 0, and the number of students with unacknowledged welcome letters goes up to 3. Let's move over to our email. We can see here that Barry Potter has received his welcome letter. This letter just contains some general information about Pigworts Academy and lets Barry know that he's been accepted into the school. If we come down to the bottom, we'll see a link here which will take him to his acceptance form. Let's go ahead and click that. This takes him to the login page for the student portal. Now, Barry will have already created an account when he registered and submitted his application for Pigworts, but we won't go into that now. We'll just go ahead and log in. As you can see here, we're taken to a student acknowledgement form, just some general code of conduct, terms and conditions, etc. If we come down to the bottom, we can have Barry acknowledge and submit his acknowledgement. This will take him to a packing list so that he can start getting ready for his journey to Pigworts. When Professor McGonigal comes back to our Welcoming Wizards workspace, she can see that the number of wizarding students who have unacknowledged welcome letters has gone down to 2. If she clicks this button, she can see which students haven't yet acknowledged their acceptance. From this page, she can choose to select any number of students and send those welcome letters again. Once a student has been acknowledged into Pigworts, like Barry has, they are ready to be sorted into houses. Let's go ahead and refresh our list here. And we'll see Barry Potter show up in that list. Professor McGonagall can click into the student record, where she'll see information about the student, and she'll also be able to see the Sorting Cat custom component over here in the contextual side panel. Let's go ahead and sort Barry into a house. The Badger's house, very nice. Let's go ahead and save that record. Now it's a bit cumbersome to go through every single student record, click into it, sort them, save them, and come back to their workspace. So we've provided Professor McGonagall and the faculty here at Pigworts a nifty little tool to sort the students a little faster. Let's go ahead and go that route. We'll sort Cho Fang into the Raven's house. Let's sort Draco Malfoy. Also Ravens. We'll go ahead and skip Tuna Lovegood for now. I think you get the idea. Once a student has been sorted, they will receive a link to their student portal in a house assignment email. If we open up the student portal, we can see the house that they were assigned, as well as the standard statements, the standards that they live by. We can also see the passphrase that will give them access to their common rooms and the house points. We've also included the packing list and acknowledge acceptance forms here in case they need to refer back to them at a later time. In addition to overseeing the new students, Professor McGonagall is also able to manage the Pigworts houses from the Welcoming Wizards workspace. If she clicks on the house points, we'll go to Badgers since that's where Barry Potter was assigned. She can manually set the passphrase and house points from here. Now it's a bit cumbersome to go into the house record itself to update the points and the passphrase, so the Welcoming Wizards application has a couple cool features baked into it to make both of those tasks a bit easier for them. The first feature is to help with the house points. As Professor McGonagall and the other faculty members are patrolling the corridors of Pigworts, they may want to update house points quickly from their phone without having to log into their workspace. Thanks to a nifty scripted REST API, Professor McGonagall and the other faculty members can modify the house points directly from their phones. Update house points.
Which house would you like to update the points for?
Badgers.
Would you like to add or take away points?
Add.
How many points would you like to add?
10.
Updated the Badger's house points to 73.
Awesome. Updated the Badger's house points to 73. Let's go ahead and refresh our page and see if that change is reflected here. Looks like it was. Awesome. The second feature is to help with the house passphrases. Now that most of the students have been sorted into houses, it would be a good idea to set a new house passphrase. Setting new passphrases will send an email to all the students in that house so that they know the new passphrase for getting into their house common rooms. When Professor McGonagall clicks the button to generate a new passphrase, a request is sent to OpenAI to generate a new passphrase based on the specific house that was selected. In this case, Mystic Badger Den. Let's go ahead and save that. Now let's add new passphrases for the other houses as well. Roaring Magic Den for the Lion's House. Mystic Raven's Abode for the Raven's House. And Slithering Spells and Serpentine Secrets for the Snake's House. Now if Professor McGonagall doesn't like the passphrase that was generated, she can choose to either override it manually here or send another request to OpenAI for a new passphrase. Slithering Sorcerers 21. Let's go ahead and save that one. Now, because the Badger's house passphrase was changed, Barry can come back to his student portal, refresh, and we'll see the passphrase was updated down here, as well as the house points. Professor McGonagall can revisit her Welcoming Wizards workspace whenever she wants to check in on the current status of the students, their houses, and their welcome letters. The workspace makes it easy for her to stay organized and on top of this year's student onboarding process. Now that we've gotten a good feel for the Welcoming Wizards application and workspace, let's take a quick peek at the products and tools used in this application. First and foremost, I used App Engine Studio to set up the app. App Engine Studio is a great no-code tool that lets you set up apps in no time. From within App Engine Studio, I whipped out a configurable workspace using UI Builder. I wouldn't consider UI Builder to be no-code, although it would be low-code with its drag-and-drop interface. From within the Next Experience framework, I built a custom component to create the sorting cat. Custom components are fun to build, but they're definitely pro code, so you just have to be careful there. Also using App Engine Studio, I used Flow Designer to create the flows that handle the emails that need to be sent to the students when certain conditions occur in the app. Flow Designer can definitely be a no-code tool, but it's also pretty easy to slip into some basic coding if the out-of-the-box actions don't quite fit your needs. So I'd consider it both no-code and low-code. Outside of App Engine Studio, I built a scripted REST API to work with my Siri shortcut for updating house points from my phone. And then I used the OpenAI API to build a GenAI utility script include. There are certainly ways to use GenAI in Flow Designer that are no-code, but I didn't have access to any of those in my PDI, so I made my own, thus the pro code. Now, I don't want to imply that wizards and magic aren't real, especially for those of you who are still waiting for your own acceptance letters from a certain wizarding school. But now that you've seen the Welcoming Wizards workspace in action, let's talk about how this could be applied to more realistic scenarios. Instead of wizarding students, you may have university students, employees, or contractors. Instead of Professor McGonagall and the other faculty members at Pigwarts, you may have product owners or department managers. In any of these situations, you could use your own custom workspace to provide a more focused user experience. If we look at the Welcoming Wizards workspace, it's not too far-fetched to think of the houses as departments, office locations, or colleges within a university. You could have a custom experience that gives an overview of student enrollment or employee training. You would probably want some sort of utility to send welcome letters and onboarding materials. You may even need your own custom component to make possible a process that is uniquely yours, something that's not offered out of the box. And similar to my GenAI passphrase generator, which was just a silly little example, you could use GenAI to summarize your next to-do items or to give a summary of the latest activity. Regardless of your company's individual needs, custom workspaces have the potential to give you the fine-tuned experience that you need. And with that, our mischief has been managed. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be sure to include a link to the XML file that you can download so you can play around with the app in your own PDI if you want to. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.